Hello there. My name is Jessica. The name of the show is Sister Sister. It's a relationship talk show on City TV and City FM, and it comes to you every single week with new episodes. The show is brought to you by Vodafone. Together we can. They've been with us all year, so we're completely excited about that. Talia Rice always coming home to love, and Kel Kids Toothpaste. Absolutely amazing sponsors. Thank you so much for your support. Now, when we come back, we'll be jumping into messages that we've been receiving all year round. Well, I mean, these probably came in a few days ago, but, you know, every single time on the show, people make time to send us messages, questions, your comments. Listen, I appreciate all of you. We'll go for a quick break. When we come back, I'll introduce the sisters, and then I'll tell you how you can be part of the show as well. So don't go anywhere.
City TV is live on DSTV. Go to channel 363. On GoTV, access City TV on channel 182. On a digital TV, please press the menu button on the remote control and run a new search on your TV. Take note that without an antenna, you cannot access City TV on your television. City TV can be accessed on a free-to-air digital box like the GoTV and StarTimes box. City TV, it's your world.
So we will jump right into our, messages, and let's see if they have changed or are changing for dealing with the same stuff. Okay, so says, good evening, sisters. My fiance was involved in an accident that almost cost him his life last January. Now, though he survived, he went into a coma for 3 months, and I never left his side. We had plans of getting married this month and have even bought some of the things towards our big day. Jess, since he came out of a coma, he lost his memory, thus doesn't recognize me nor the relationship we have. It's been 5 months and still no improvement. My parents and friends keep putting pressure on me to leave and start a new relationship, but I keep insisting he would come around. His family has started treating me differently, and that scares me. I've sacrificed a lot for our friendship. I desperately need your advice on how to proceed. Should I stay or should I leave? All right. Gil, would you be able to hang around if you were in this lady's situation?
It's a sad situation, but you see, I always say that when it comes to relationships, you cannot build your whole life around somebody, even if you're in love with them or whatever. You can't put yourself in every picture of the person's life. Like, you see yourself with them forever. Sometimes I feel it's a scam because it's not possible. And this thing that just happened should let you know that anything can happen in life. People can die, people can change their mindset, people can, whatever, anything can happen to you. And then you may not feel the same way you feel about that person. I'm not saying don't be present in a relationship and enjoy the moments, but you should have to have an open mind that anything can happen. So don't get too attached, but just go with the flow. So, and having said that, now you're with the guy doesn't remember you or anything. There's nothing you can do about it because it's really going to start all over. And you can't tell because if it's a medical thing and he's never going to get his memory back or what, then what are you doing? Just, marking time. And then now you're saying that the people around him, like his family is treating you some way. She didn't really explain what she meant by that, but obviously maybe it's making her feeling unhappy about it. So then you don't have to be there. But I don't like the fact that she said people are saying you need to leave him and start another relationship. That's not what you should do. If you have to leave, yes, maybe leave, but not just immediately think that another relationship should just happen because you just have to be in a relationship. This would be a blow to you, of course, because you guys have gotten to a point where you're going to make things official. You said you bought your stuff and some of them, and you already set a wedding date and all of that. So, of course, it will be a big disappointment to you. So you need to heal from all of that because You didn't see that happening. I mean, it's scary because somebody that you've been with and then doesn't remember you or remember anything. But you just have to cut your losses. Definitely have to move on because this beyond you is out of your hands. I think it's a medical thing, and you cannot, even if he comes out of it, what shows that he's going to remember you or want to even be with you?
Right. Yeah.
So just have to face the reality and just to leave. She has to leave, definitely.
Okay. You agree?
Not necessarily. Okay, so depending on what the doctors are saying, so because some people do get their memories back from comas. I think that 5 months is a bit early to determine whether, because some people go years and then suddenly one day everything comes back, or it comes back in bits.
Right.
For me, though, it's neither here nor there whether his memory will come back or not. The decision is solely hers, okay, in the sense that you need to decide if you can wait as long as. And in the waiting, will you then try to rebuild a new relationship? Because it could come to that. But she needs to understand that, as it is with every decision in life, it's a risk. If you do decide to leave, it's a risk you're taking that his memory could come back and his love for you will be the same, but you'd have lost the love of your life. Because obviously, if you had planned to marry this person, he is the love of your life. So that's a risk. If you do decide to stay, however, also that's a risk.
Right.
Because it may never come back. He may never remember you. He may meet somebody else and fall in love because this chapter of his life is gone. Either ways, it's a risk. What I think she needs to do is to weigh the options, really. If I were in her shoes, I'd give it a little more time. So I would give myself like a deadline. Okay, so I'm giving this a year, irrespective of. I'm giving this a year. If the memory doesn't come back, if his family continues to treat me in a way I'm unhappy about, I'll give it a year. In that year, I'll try and restart a new relationship with him.
Right.
Because he doesn't remember me as I am now, or as we were before. So maybe I will try and get him, I will continue to love him and try and get him to love me as a new person.
Right.
If after a year, it doesn't seem to be working, you know that, okay, you've done what you can, you cut your losses, and you leave. I feel like 5 months is too short to determine whether to leave or to stay.
Okay. So give it like a year.
Yeah, give it like at least give it a time. Like give yourself some time and say, okay, by the end of a year, this is what I'm doing. 7 months is like,
Right.
Give yourself
Some
a deadline.
timelines.
Yes.
Okay. Claudia, what do you think?
I think she's not really taking time to work through her emotions. So she's thinking of, should I leave or stay? And the question of leaving or staying is because of the pressure that people are giving her. So I'm inclined to think that if the pressure wasn't coming, should have stayed. From where I sit, that pressure that they are giving you, if you weigh it, it's like 0%. Because these people are external. These are your parents, your friends who are advising you as outsiders, thinking they know you. So this leave or stay has become an issue because of external pressure. So first off, how do you cut off that pressure? How do you silence this family and friends so that you can take time to work through your emotions and think through what you really, really, really want? And with this family treating you funny, for me, that's nothing you should even think about, because there are issues where the man has all his memory and the family doesn't treat you well. So I feel you feel hurt, because sometimes when you do things for people, you expect them to pay you back well, but they never meet your expectations. So you are hurt because you're probably thinking, well, your son was sick, I've taken care of him, people should treat me well. That's some form of entitlement, but they don't owe you that. So I'm also saying that the family thing, don't really pay attention to it. You yourself, what do you want out of this? And again, he losing his memory, two things. I'm going to work with a scenario where the memory is never coming back. That's what I'm working with. If the memory is never coming back, what's left of him? What's his current personality? How does he think? How does he feel? How is he behaving? In his current state, not knowing you, how does he feel about you as a stranger? being by his bed, telling him how you've taken care of him and wanting to build things up. How does he feel about it? He being in the hospital bed and you even bombarding him with memories I don't even think it's medically sound. So step back and let nature take its own course. But then you yourself, you have to ask, in the worst case scenario where the memory doesn't come back, how does he feel? And even 3 months, it's even too early for him to start feeling something because he himself has lost a big chunk of his life and needs time to recover. So it's more trickier and more complex that you are making us see it. Forget about the pressure. Forget about people talking to you and trying to advise you to do things that you think is not good for yourself. You yourself, what do you want? Do you want to wait? Let's say if the memory doesn't come back, I see it as an opportunity to reinvent the relationship, clean slate, start from the start. But does he want that? And is it even fair to be asking that question at this time, 3 months? He himself is trying to get himself back on track. So the question you are asking now, I feel is too early in the day. Forget about the family pressure. They have their own reasons. Family pressure is always going to be there in a relationship, even in a relationship where the man is of sound mind and sound health. So that, and your parents and your friends telling you, tell them they are giving you undue pressure. You need time to think through. But I would want you to work with the worst case scenario where the memory doesn't come back. And you try, it's like meeting a stranger in the park and the stranger trying to fall in love with you. And is that prospect there? And do you even think it's fair that you demand these things from him at this point? So it's complex, but first of all, I would want you to take it slow. Go with the flow for some time. Discount that pressure. Pressure is always going to be there. Our parents are always going to be in our business. Our friends are always going to be in our business. But what do you want for yourself? And this month, 3 months, also ask yourself, if I was in a coma 3 months and my boyfriend is in my face, bombarding me with memory, wanting me to decide, how would I feel? So give it time, but then ask yourself, worst case scenario, if the memory doesn't come back, am I ready to reinvent myself with this man? Does this man even want to reinvent himself with me? And what's left of his personality? How he thinks, how he feels, how he behaves. Is he still the same man you met so and so years ago? And forget about the wedding, the planning, it's nothing. Work through your feelings first and decide for yourself what you want in the worst case scenario that the memory doesn't come back. Are you guys ready to reinvent your life? Is he even open to working things out with you, or he wants to start with someone new? These are all questions that you have to ask yourself.
Yeah, great questions there. I can imagine how you feel. So I'm really sorry about your fiancé. I do hope that he gets his memory back soon. But like my sister said, it's really important that you give it some time and just see where this goes. But you should always have a plan B as well, okay? All right, it's Sister Sister on City TV and City FM. We'll go for a break. We'll be right back.
City TV is live on DSTV. Go to channel 363. On GoTV, access City TV on channel 182. On a digital TV, please press the menu button on the remote control and run a new search on your TV. Take note that without an antenna, you cannot access City TV on your television. City TV can be accessed on a free-to-air digital box like the GoTV and StarTimes box. City TV, it's your world.
Welcome back, Sister Sister on City TV and City FM. Our WhatsApp number is open, 054-998-6996. The message here says, good evening, sisters. My life has recently come to a screeching halt. I can't think, I can't work, I can't sleep. I feel confused. I need to get this matter off my chest for you to advise me. Sometime in April, this year, my wife went to a conference in Europe. We've been trying for a while now to conceive, but to no avail, until we found out she was pregnant early May. I was ecstatic and couldn't help but tell my family the good news. A few months into the pregnancy, I realized something odd about my wife. Something was eating her up. After questioning her on countless occasions, she finally revealed to me that she was raped when she went for the conference, and possibly the child is not mine. I don't know why she didn't disclose this in the first place. I'm angry and confused at the same time. Is this the best time to ask for a paternity test?
No. I jumped into that.
Go ahead.
No, it's not the best time to ask for a paternity test. Yes, you have a right to feel angry and confused and upset and all of that. Your question about why she didn't say she was raped, it's because more often than not, rape victims are actually blamed for the rape. There are lots of people who get raped and don't report it. It's not the right thing, but unfortunately we live in a society where a rape victim is judged. And usually, so then you were at a conference, you probably would have asked those usual questions. What were you wearing? How did he rape you? Was it in your room or in his room? Like all sorts of. So more often than not, most people who get raped don't report it. So it's very likely. That is indeed if it's true. If it's true. Now, the reason I question the truthfulness of this rape, it's hard, it's rare to find somebody who's been raped wanting to keep a pregnancy. Because that child will be a constant reminder of a very painful situation in their life. So it's very rare for a rape victim to want to keep the pregnancy from that incident. So that's a slight, it puts alarm bells in my mind. However, the reason I say it's not the best time to ask for a paternity test is she's pregnant. You were ecstatic about the baby. She's okay carrying this baby, rape or not. Her only question is whether it's yours or it's not. I say let the baby come and love the baby anyway, because unless after this show they are going to question if it was rape or not, then if indeed if the alarm bells in my head go off in your head as well, then yes, when the baby comes, do a paternity test to be sure. But otherwise, I would say that look, a child is not necessarily biological, okay, and the Almighty, God, the powers that be, whoever, the universe, finds ways to answer our prayers. And as they say, God works in mysterious ways. So this could be the one way that you could have a child. So I say, look, if you're fine with the baby, and whether it's rape or not, live and let live. Raise that child as your own. Okay. If you can. Because it's also very possible that when the child is 3, you'll be looking at that child like, are you my child?
See your mouth.
You don't look like me. Yeah, it could be in the back of your mind. So you honestly need to play out all the scenarios. If indeed you can raise this child as yours, don't bother with the paternity test. Raise this child as yours. But if you can't, then Charlie, but wait, let the child come first. Because indeed, if she was raped, she's going through mental turmoil as well. You don't want to add an invasive procedure of checking for paternity in utero. You understand what I mean? So I would say, wait, when the baby comes, you can check.
Yeah. All right, Gil, what do you think?
The story doesn't add up. There's too much suspicion around it, like from day one. And first of all, they said they were trying to have a kid. Then suddenly you come from a trip, you're pregnant. So the guy has a right to have a lot of, suspicions. And in relationships, trust, transparency, it's the glue that, binds the whole interaction. There has to be transparency and trust. If you claim, and I'm using the word claim because you come from a trip, you're pregnant. Usually when you're pregnant and it's something that you both wanted, the what's the word?
You're excited about
Yeah,
it.
it will be different. But you're saying that the person is that is guilt or something. That's how I see it. What he sees around here. It could be guilt. And so I don't believe the rape story. I'm not saying she's lying. I'm just saying that there are holes. Because if that happened to you, you come and tell the guy. You whether it's a difficult topic or not. You didn't ask to be raped. Rape is something that, should I say, an accident or whatever. And so you can't just come and mask it. You tell your partner, this is what somebody did to me, because it's true. And then your man is supposed to maybe take it up, find out what happened. Maybe if it's going to be a criminal case or something, they need to fight that to the end. Because if it's rape, mentally it's going to mess you up. So you can't just brush it off, and then until the man asks you before you now say, oh, I was raped, and then you just leave it like that. No, because it's going to bring a lot of discord in the relationship. Every time it will hang over their head. Like, how did you really get the baby? So the paternity thing has to come on for everybody's peace of mind, even for her as well, because now it's 50-50. If she really was raped, that means somebody slept with her. That's what she's trying to say, whether it was rape or not.
Of course.
So definitely 50-50. There's so many too much. It's just too much. And there has to be so many things to be done for there to be some kind of trust. If you were raped, the man has nothing to do about that. Rape, he can't be mad at you for that. If you were really raped. So he has to find out if you're really raped, see that to the end. Like I'm saying, if it's a criminal thing, he has to find out for his own peace of mind. Because now he may not trust you. Yeah. I don't trust her either.
Ouch.
Yeah. So
and we don't even know her.
So he has to do that. Yeah, he has to definitely do that. Because you see, when kids come in, and in terms of history and things, if that kid is not your kid, the kid will have a different genetic whatever, depending on who is the father. And then the kid might need something, and see, if you are not the father, and then out of the blue, maybe the kid is sick one time, needs blood or something or whatever, and then all these things coming. It's a serious situation.
I get that, but my response to that is then what's the point of adoption?
No, but this
do you
is not
get what I mean?
Yeah, we get it.
My point is that's not necessarily.
Yeah, we get it.
A great enough reason. It shouldn't be your determinants, because look, you adopt kids.
But the point is that when you adopt, you know you go adopt, and you know that yes.
But this one, you know that it's possible that your wife was raped. So it's possible this child is not for you.
That for that sake, just to know that.
Informed.
This is what happened, and then you can make an informed decision. Than just leave it like that, because that it will always be at the back of the man's mind, always.
Right.
And even the lady herself, like, whose kid is that? Just to know. That's what I think.
Cool. Claudia, what are you thinking?
First off, we have to realize that there's a misconception about who the perfect rape victim is. There's nothing like a perfect victim. And in cases of trauma, people react very differently. Some are able to voice it, others are not able to voice it based on how you were brought up. How I was brought up, and my mom at a point I thought was even alarmist, because every day she would try to probe if someone touched me.
Wow.
So I was very alert. And that is how come my teacher was trying to assault me. I was able to say it even without realizing that I was being assaulted at that age. So my mom usually every day after school would take us through what happened, casually trying to have a conversation about what happened at school. And then I mentioned how a teacher cornered me in the classroom and tried to kiss me. It rang a bell. And then she's like, but that is not normal. Why was the teacher trying to kiss you? So I didn't even realize it had happened to me. So it all depends on how you were brought up. Fine, she's an adult woman, she's married. And Drea even said, sometimes the circumstances surrounding the rape makes you even doubt yourself as a person. So and for me, I always believe the victim. I always believe the victim until proven otherwise. So I believe she was raped. And I believe that because of the trauma that surrounds rape and the circumstances under which a person is raped, their reaction is not predictable. it's very possible that she's so ashamed, and you realize that the husband said something was eating her up. And sometimes, even as rape victims, they try to simulate how people will treat them and then try to behave normally until something is off. And that's why someone will try accusing try accusing the person who raped them 50 years later when the person is going for public office. And then they are triggered. So for me, I believe it happened until proven otherwise. And in the current circumstances, he said something was eating her. She could have hidden it, and not even, if she wasn't raped, she would have been fine, keeping quiet and going about her business. Like we discussed last week, the lady who had fathered 3 children with her ex. It's very possible that if she wasn't raped, she would have kept quiet and everything would have gone on and the man would have taken care of the child. So I think she was raped. I believe her because she's saying she's a victim. And until proven otherwise, I'm going to respond based on the tangents that the trauma of rape victims, it manifests differently. People react differently based on how the context and the circumstances surrounding them. This is a married woman who was raped at a conference. She has not even divulged who raped her. Maybe even the person who raped her is the reason for her silence. Maybe even the circumstances surrounding the rape was the reason for her silence. But good, now she's out. She says she's been raped. How do we move from here? First of all, what does she want to do? The rape victim herself. What does she want to do? Does she want to keep the baby? Because truth be told, I think about 1% of women who have been raped still go on to keep the baby. I was actually watching this TikTok of this child who was born out of rape, and her mother hated her constantly through her life because she was a reminder of the trauma that she had been through. So she decided not to abort her. And so her entire TikTok is talking about experience living with a mother who was raped. And I thought that was very interesting because that was the first time I'd actually seen firsthand someone talking about being a child who was born out of rape and raised by a single mother who was channeling all the anger onto her. So for now, the first question to ask is, what does your wife want to do? Does she want to keep the baby? Does she want to abort it? Whatever she decides to do, then you have to ask yourself, do I want to raise this child? And foremost, he's an innocent child and should be treated as such. So you have to ask yourself, am I ready to raise an innocent child? That's something you have to ask yourself. And it's you can actually say, okay, maybe I'm adopting, or it's like adopting someone and looking after someone's child. But the circumstances here are very, very different. Your wife was raped, and this is a present trauma that is going to be there. So aside asking her what she wants to do, does she want to keep it? Does she want to abort it? Whatever she wants to do, you support her. But the second level that you have to think about is being very, 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 very honest with yourself. Can you raise this innocent child without a bias? I would entreat you to do so because he's innocent and a victim of circumstances. So you have to look within yourself and ask yourself, if my wife couldn't give birth and we had to adopt, I could take care of him. So can I do same? And bearing in mind this glaring fact that she was raped, she hid it from you for some time, you thought you were the father, a breach of trust, blah, 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 is a lot of emotions that you have to work through. And you don't have to work through it yourself. You can do it together or separately or with someone who is trained, an emphasis on trained, to deal with rape, trauma, partner rape, kids coming out of rape, someone with that expertise. But you have to be very honest with yourself. Are you ready to raise this innocent child as your own? I will entreat you to do so because that is what it is, an innocent child. So are you ready to do that? If you search within yourself and honestly you can't do it, then don't lie to anybody. Don't leave this woman on. And with the question of the paternity test, it has to be done. You need to know. I feel every man needs to know, but not when she's pregnant. Let the baby come. Let the baby come. And then you take it from there. It's invasive when there's the baby, then they're trying to do the paternity test. She's already traumatized. So let's not even forget the woman and what she's going through now. She's dealing with a lot. So seek psychological help for your wife as well, because rape is huge. And people deal with it. People try to repress it. The child will come, and that will be another wahala together. So the two of you, and so you become three, need psychological help. But be very honest with yourself, because whatever decision you take is going to impact the three of you for a very long time. And in all this thinking, bear in mind that the child is innocent.
Yeah.
Are you able to look beyond the circumstances that brought him into this world? It will be very unfair for you to keep quiet, take the child, and then all these biases will inform the way you treat this innocent child. So it's a very messy situation, but first off, seek psychological help for your wife. Don't treat it as if, yes, you are angry. You are right to be angry. You deserve to be angry. But bring out your empathy. Empathy is very, very, very important in this scenario. She needs someone to talk to. She needs that support. She was raped. She has a baby. And like I'm saying, I'm going to believe her until otherwise. So she was raped. She's now going to bear a baby out of rape. Does she even want to bear that baby at all? Or is she bearing it because of the societal mentality and stigma against abortion? If given the option, will she want to abort? Does she want the child out of her life? Does she want to keep it? And based on that, you also ask yourself, okay, this is what my wife wants. Do I want it too? Or do I want something else? And again, it's an innocent child. So how do we go about this? Seek help.
Okay, well said. I'll read a couple of comments here, and this one's from Ima. Says it's a format. She cheated on you at the conference, and knowing the cat will be out of her bag very soon, she will frame another story to tell you. Kweku says if she was raped, why didn't she do something about it to prevent the pregnancy? In this day and age, she waited all this time just to tell her husband. It's up to you to find out the truth. Sometimes, these pregnancy things don't work.
The tests,
I've heard about that.
These
Yeah,
morning after pills.
Yeah.
So, you can't just jump to that conclusion. Yeah. Gabby says she values the unborn child more than her husband. If it was a madman who raped her, she would have terminated it by hook or crook. Eesh. Ras says, oh, my brother, do you want us to tell you that your wife willfully and willingly did the thing with her boss or one of her colleagues? We won't. Why? Ebo says, don't ask for a paternity test yet. Just find the right time and ask her what happened, making sure to get the minutest details as much as possible. Then console and assure her of your support in these trying times. Months later, find another opportune moment to broach the topic. If what happened did happen, like she narrated earlier, her second narration will be exactly the same. Otherwise, there will be glaring discrepancies.
Oh,
that's how you catch liars.
Oh, no, that's not how you catch good liars.
And as a rule of thumb, do not ever discuss paternity test with a woman. She will kill you in your sleep.
Why?
Oh,
Hey, Charlie.
We have all this stigma around paternity test.
wow. No, you should discuss paternity tests with a woman when the need arises. Absolutely.
Yes.
She will not kill you in her sleep. If she has not done anything wrong, she should be okay with a paternity test.
Absolutely.
Can we calm down? Women are not killers.
Kofi,
some of us.
is our next texter. Says, son of man, question her thoroughly about the rape event. When and how and why couldn't she report to the police or to you? Note, it may be a strategy she's using to cover up the lover she's pregnant for. And finally, Papa says, it's only men who have you noticed. Papa says, such a flimsy excuse. Did she report that she had been raped? Under normal circumstances, she would have taken post pills to ensure the supposed rape wouldn't manifest.
No.
She wanted to try. Yeah, it doesn't work that way. She wanted to try someone else, and it has worked for her. Go check on yourself.
You see, in my submission, I answered his question about why she didn't tell him.
Yes.
And all of the commenters have proven me
yes,
right. It is because more often than not, when a person says they are raped, we don't believe them. The only reason I have questions about her rape is the pregnancy part. Because I also know that 90%, in fact, I think even Claudia mentioned it, do not want to keep the pregnancy because it will be a child is in your life for the rest of your life. So this child will be a consistent reminder. And so most rape victims will not want to keep the pregnancy. In fact, as soon as she found out, most rape victims would have aborted it immediately because I want to clear that thought. You understand? So unless she tried to and the husband was too ecstatic and that's the reason she's kept it. That's a different conversation. But what they've said
Is
is
proof
the
of what you just
exact
said, yeah.
reason why people don't say I was raped.
Yes. There are
That's
those
the
who
exact
doubt you
reason.
from the get-go.
get-go.
Yeah.
We don't
that's
believe
true.
victims.
That's
They have
true.
to behave a certain way before.
Victim blaming. Challenge.
Yeah, you should have been broken. You should have reported it. Do you know what she was going through the entire time that she was with her husband? And the man said that something is eating her up.
Yeah.
So there was something off.
Yeah, there was something
It's not
else.
like she's being herself excited throughout. Something is eating her up.
Yeah. If I'll just finally say, just following your timelines, you're talking about April and whatnot. I'm guessing your wife probably should be around maybe 7 months pregnant by now.
Yeah.
So it's not just like
There's a baby on the way.
Just about 2 months. To,
There's a baby on the way.
Stick it out. Let's see how this goes. Let her deliver. And then you guys can sort of figure it out. Okay. Good luck with that. We really wish you well because 2022 there, Charlie. Anyway, we'll go for a quick commercial break. When we return, there's more.
City TV is live on DSTV. Go to channel 363. On GoTV, access City TV on channel 182. On a digital TV, please press the menu button on the remote control and run a new search on your TV. Take note that without an antenna, you cannot access City TV on your television. City TV can be accessed on a free-to-air digital box like the GoTV and Star Times box. City TV, it's your world.
Welcome back, Sister, on City TV and City FM. Message here says, hello, sisters. I need urgent advice. I have admired this female friend of mine since the day I set eyes on her. I have feelings for her, but I realized that she's dating a guy in my neighborhood, so I never told her about it. We are very close, and so I know that she's madly in love with her boyfriend. She shares her relationship problems with me. She and her boyfriend have been having issues for the past 2 months and haven't been speaking to each other all this while. She recently visited me at home and seemed very sad and depressed. I asked her what I could do to make her smile, and she said that if she touches my beard and my manhood, she'll be okay because that's what she likes doing to her boyfriend. Just to make her happy, I allowed her to touch my manhood.
What?
She felt okay after that. She is the third female friend that I've helped with relationship issues. I have some questions I need answers to.
I have questions too.
1. Is it right for a woman to touch the private part of a man she's not in a relationship with? 2. Should I tell her about my feelings? 3. Should I advise her to let go of her boyfriend, or should I tell her boyfriend what happened?
It's just a joke. No. This is a prank. No. Nobody wrote this story. It's a prank. Are we being serious?
Can I show
right
you
now?
the email?
Are we being serious?
Yeah, true.
For real.
For real.
What are you people doing out there?
Also, when you touch the man,
Should we find beer the man? And then, okay, that part got me. Then the fact that he allowed.
Yes.
Like, wow.
And now he wants to tell the boyfriend.
And that 3 people when he says he's giving relationship help to know.
So he's
And
helping
then
them
touch
in such a manner. Crazy. Oh, interesting way to end the year.
What are his questions say? He said that's what?
Is it right for a woman to touch the private parts of a man she's not in a relationship?
Not unless she's a nurse, his mother if he's very ill, or a hooker. No.
2, should I tell her about my feelings?
I think you should.
3, should I advise her to let go of her boyfriend, or should I
It's
tell
not
her
your
boyfriend?
It's not your place.
It's not your place to tell anybody anything. You said you were helping her. She's your friend. What is, okay. I've answered his questions. What I don't understand is how you have a friend that you like, and you know her relationship problems, and Charlie, you people, why? Okay. And she comes to you to come and say, oh, I'm sad. And you say, what can I do to help? And she says, I want to touch your beard, which is okay. And your manhood. You didn't balk at the thoughts and think, oh, maybe she likes me. Maybe she likes me too. Mm-hmm. That thought didn't occur to you in that moment when you were letting her touch your manhood and your beard. It didn't drop then that, oh, maybe this is the time to lean in for a kiss. And say, oh, I've been feeling you. I've been checking for you longer. So this your boy that is an ass. Let's let him go. I think she likes him too. Mm. I think he should tell her his feelings. It's not your place to talk to her boyfriend. Her boyfriend is not your friend. You don't know him from anywhere. Don't go and ruin somebody's relationship. We're never bunny. Oh, I'm done.
Just like that.
Yes, I'll come back.
Claudia, let me come to you.
It's very possible. It's very, very, very possible that she's in love with her boyfriend, and you happen to be this convenient interest that is helping her keep her relationship stable. So when there are issues, you are this escape, easy, no questions asked. She's able to do it and go with a clear conscience. So what was the first question again?
Is it right for a woman to touch the private parts of a man she's not in a relationship with?
He should be asking himself, is it right to have accepted that the woman should touch his manhood? When he has a boyfriend, that's a question you should be asking himself. It's not for the woman to answer. Why did you allow her to touch your manhood in that circumstance? She was crying, depressed. She asked something that you thought it was inappropriate. And because you are madly in love with her, you became vulnerable. And she also capitalized on it. And truth be told, you guys have not had that conversation. There's no commitment. You've not declared the relationship. Yes. So this is strictly friends with benefits. Until you declare what the two of you are doing. She hasn't done anything wrong. She kept crying. You knew she had a boyfriend. She offered something that was inappropriate. You sat there and enjoyed. And now that she didn't stay with you, you are hurt.
What if he didn't enjoy?
He enjoyed. She got it.
The question is the question you should be asking yourself as a person with standards and boundaries. Did you treat yourself well? We need to ask ourselves some of these questions. Did I really love myself in this situation? Did I really treat myself well when this girl came around? And the second one is, should
I tell her about my feelings?
Of course, you should. And you seem to be suffering, and
in love.
I don't know if she's realized that you like her and she's also
taking advantage.
There's also that angle. So say it. Communicate use your words instead of using your manhood. Use your words. Say it. Tell her that I like you. I want to be with you. I've been struggling by myself. Can we do this thing together? And the third question is not your place. She has to tell her you like her, you want to be with her. And then whatever she chooses to do with that information, that is her choice and decision to make. And based on that, you can decide if it's worth exploring at all. But from the point of view, it's like you enjoy helping women in distress. So you mentioned that there are 3 women that you've been helping out. Maybe you also have to carve out a role for yourself in friendships. What do you do for women in need? Is it for your benefit or is it for their benefit? Because it seems like it's benefiting you, but you are masking it like you are doing it for the benefit of these women. But you are not complaining. Is it because you are afraid you lose their friendship? So there's an honest conversation that you need to have with yourself. As a human being, as a man, what are my standards? When I meet a woman and I like her, what do I allow? What don't I allow? But you can't go and tell the boyfriend. That's wrong. And it's happened before. A friend, his girlfriend was in Ghana, he was in the UK, then the boy was a side piece for a while, and when the girl decided not to detach from the guy in the UK, he called and informed the guy in the UK. But he still married her anyway. So it's if a man is in love, he's in love. So I'm telling you, it's not your place. Tell her you like her. If she decides not to leave her boyfriend, you respect yourself and detach. If you tell her you like her and she tells you she can't leave her boyfriend, don't force her. Don't guilt trip her. Just detach yourself and go and be with a woman who values you, who will make you her number one, and treat you like the man that you deserve. And secondly, when a woman tries to touch you and you feel is inappropriate, say it. Don't be quiet and later, because now you feel hurt, you feel used. You're asking this question because you feel used. You're probably expecting her to start dating you after she touched your manhood. You weren't expecting her to go back to her boyfriend. But she's gone back. And she's probably gone back because that guy is fighting for her love and her affection. She doesn't even know what you are doing about the feelings that you are harboring. So tell her, if she decides not to be with you, detach yourself and go and find someone who will treat you with the help, with the respect that you deserve. And again, when you have female friends coming to you with their problems in relationships, don't take advantage of them, okay? Talk with them through their problems. Don't offer yourself as an emotional clutch that they can always take advantage of. When people come to you with their problems, give them the listening ear. Be that empathetic friend that you are purporting to be. And don't offer sexual favors. It's all part of these petty harassment things in relationships that nobody talks about. She comes to you very vulnerable. You know she's crying at the point of tears. She's come to a friend, and then she offers this inappropriate thing. Also reevaluate your friendships and what you offer as a friend. Because I feel if someone comes to you depressed, and it's like someone being drunk, and then you having sex with them and thinking that she didn't object. We're all in the moment. But in the moment, who had the most stable mental, what's the word? Who was most stable mentally? You were very there. You had a presence of mind. You knew exactly what she was asking for. She was depressed, crying. So you also have to reevaluate your standards as a man and as a friend. Because as a friend, if I go to my female friend, she won't offer to touch me. So why do you even accept as a male friend to do that when I ask? So we as people should also try from our side of things to also be good people, and I put good people in quotes. When people come to you in a certain mental condition, the things that they ask of you, you have more presence of mind. So you should be in a better position to evaluate and help them through their problems, other than offering sex under the guise of helping my friends in problems, in situations with their boyfriends. Reevaluate your standards.
Okay, great. Gail, what do you think?
I'll come from a different angle with the number one, right? She says,
Is it right for women to touch?
Yeah, I mean, sex is not necessarily love. You don't have to love someone to want to touch them. You could, people have arrangements, like we have sex buddies and stuff like that. You don't have to have any emotional attachment to the person.
But that's still a relationship, though.
Yeah, but still, like he's asking, he said you have to like the person before, so you don't necessarily.
Is it right for a woman to touch your private part if you're not in a relationship?
Yeah, but then yes, there's nothing strange about that, because like I'm saying, people have those kind of things going on. They don't have to be in a relationship with you to want to touch you. And she offered. She offered, and you also agreed. So the two of you agreed. So both of you are adults. So I don't see what the problem is here. So it doesn't have to be like she has to be in a relationship with you before. And she came to you at a moment where she was vulnerable. So maybe, and she said that's what she does with her boyfriend. So at the moment when she came to talk to you and she just felt like, okay, this is what I do with my guy. Maybe that's also her sexual preference as well. Like we talked about other, sexual preferences. So that has the beard and the touching the body parts and stuff. So it was for, it's just that moment, like you have an itch, she wants it to be scratched. It doesn't really mean anything. Yeah.
Okay.
She wanted an itch to be scratched and you did it for it. Doesn't mean she necessarily likes you. Or
they
has
have used
anything
you,
for
say.
you. Yes. I really don't think so. But because you like her, you are putting meanings into everything.
And you want to go and tell your boyfriend.
Yeah, now you want to now you even want to be a snitch and all of that. So what do you think the guy will think? Because bro code and things, and you are messing around with his girlfriend. So you now you are like, I don't even know where it fits. And then number 2 is what?
Number 2, should I tell her my feelings?
No. I think that not tell, like, because she comes to you at a vulnerable moment. Anything that you say at that time will not be received well. I feel like if she's your friend and you claim you help women, you can even suspicious about the kind of
understand. She's the third woman.
She's the third woman. She's helping. I was like,
I
wow, what a help!
Are you a therapist?
Like you are really helping women.
Are you a therapist?
Touching you and things. So like, I said, that's a confused person already. And I don't even know what kind of friendship the two of them have. Like, what was going on? But I think, Sam, when it comes to like a relationship and things, when you like somebody, you don't just assume that because I like somebody and she's having issues, I'm going to tell her. Maybe she doesn't feel the same about you. You can't assume. You can talk about it, but not necessarily like I have to just tell her. She's in a relationship with somebody. She's just having issues. She's just having a bad moment. So you telling her could also be setting yourself up by letting her, because you say you're friends. And sometimes when you say those things, then you put like some kind of
awkwardness on the friendship.
in the friendship. She might not even come to you again for that help again.
But touching his manhood didn't put awkwardness on the friendship.
But it's like I said, it was a request, and you granted it. So nobody said, "I like you, let me touch you." She says, "Let me just do it because I feel
this
like
is what I do with my boy."
And you let you allowed her, and you allowed her. You could have said, "Oh, I know your guy. No, this is a bit uncomfortable."
Hey, but he likes it.
That's what I'm saying. So you like it. So don't ask the girl anything or whatever, because you now put yourself in that situation. She came to you for help, and you gave her help based on other or you had other motives for what you did. So you can't be trusted at the end of the day.
Can we please speak to the girl?
No, I feel like the guy has put himself in a very difficult situation because of the way he feels, and now you're listening to her. Like Claudia said, maybe people feel comfortable talking to you. You made yourself available to be the listening ear. Some
and the manhood like available to touch.
So when they come, I need this. Okay,
then you give.
But
I want to touch
manhood. You want something
you
more, but you don't do that. You could have at least said, okay, I know you're going through issues, and then you can find a way and just maybe discuss it with her, or find out where her mindset is at. Does she still want her guy, or does she want to get out of that and all of that? But you cannot make things awkward and just be like, because she's come to you for help, you look like you're taking advantage of the situation. That's what I'm saying. It's not right that you bring that in now, especially when you the help you gave it wasn't like a genuine help. You did it for something. Do you understand?
So I just want to speak to the girl and other girls. Okay, because actually, as we were speaking right now, I was thinking about it that many years ago, a particular relationship of mine actually started on such
something
terms.
like that.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I'd just come out of a relationship and I was broken, and I went to my best friend at the time, and then comforting became physical. Next thing I knew, we're in like a 6 or 7 year relationship.
Wow.
Yes,
that was even long.
It was long. No, it was very long. So I was actually, as we were speaking, I was thinking, that relationship, that's actually how it started. But anyways, my point is to women, I beg you, if you have no intentions of breaking up with your boyfriend,
don't be touching other
in your vulnerability, please know what is appropriate and what is inappropriate.
Exactly.
Do not go and say that, because my boyfriend, I touch his beard and his manhood, it makes me feel good. Let me touch the beard and manhood of my friend. He's your boundaries. Boundaries are everything. You two say, same way we say women should have dignity and self-worth and self-pride and everything. Why are you giving your manhood to just anybody to touch?
Help her.
Like, can your manhood have some dignity about it?
You see the way you said that line,
why have you made your manhood so Chichimami?
That's why I said
like your manhood is just there, you just they give Charlie. Have some dignity. Say,
I've helped.
Like you're freely giving your manhood.
Statement, I don't understand.
Charlie, we know we'll call you cheap. Say, we know we'll call you cheap because you're out here showing your manhood to every Lucy, Amma, and Kukua. Stop it.
Use your words.
2022, enter better.
Yes, I agree. We're going to have to end it here. Ladies, it's been good. I personally want to say thank you to all of you. I mean, the ladies who are currently on the show and those who are probably back home watching us, but, who have supported us every single step of the way. We want to say thank you. Appreciate your time. Appreciate your effort. None of you charge us a dime to do this every week.
Right.
But you come through and we have a chat. So I just want to absolutely say thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having
to our
us.
sponsors, Vodafone, Together We Can, Kelkis Toothpaste, Happy Smiles, Talia Rice, Always Coming Home to Love. To our directors, everybody behind the cameras we don't see every single week as well. To the producer extraordinaire, Jessica Johnson, aka DJ JJ. Shout outs to you as well. Lots of love. And to you, our audience. Without you, we'd have no show. So, thank you as well. Claudia, lots of love. Go out there and look at the fireworks okay? And send us pictures.
Yes. I know.
Alrighty. It's bye-bye for now.